Hi there, and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to continue volume 17 with episode 19 of my Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks scrapbooks. And we're continuing on with my 2005 journeys of concert scene. It started out with a bunch of shows in May, not a bunch, of Stevie Nicks in Vegas, and then carried on through June and July, a little bit here, off and on here and there. So the next concert that was going to be attended was July 30th, 2005. That was in Concord Pavilion. Now, granted, I'm still in California at this time, so it was really nice to go down to Southern California, see all the shows, come back up to Northern California. Surprised there wasn't a show at Shoreline, or there might have been, and I didn't make it. It's hard to say. And then go to Reno afterwards. Just really, it's the coup de grace in California because, as I've mentioned many, many times, it's kind of their stomping ground, Northern California, Southern California, family and friends. I think second would be Arizona for her to just really be at her best. And, she's really on a high right now. This was just really, she'd done the shows in Vegas. She had done a couple of dates, a handful of dates, I do believe, with Don Henley on the Two Voices tour. Then she did this. And then by the end of the year, I think she was in Australia doing stuff. So she was really busy in 2005. But prior to the show, this had come out in the San Francisco Chronicle. I love this caricature drawing of her. It is so funny. And this is dated July 24th about her show that was upcoming on July 30th. Chronicle Pavilion, Concord. So I guess she just didn't have a show at the Shoreline. And this is one of the things where she says, so if you're in Haight Street 10 years from now, so this is 2005, so that would have been 2015, and a blur of feathers and rhinestones whizzes past you on a rocket-powered wheelchair, and someone goes, "What was that?" You can say, "Oh, that's Stevie." One of the cutest lines ever by her. Just returning in the Bay Area, and it was a really good article, and it was with, I'm trying to think of who did this article. Bill Picture. But it even mentions here the early 2005 doing the show in Vegas. So this is a really nice thing. This is a little extra piece that I had from some other stuff, from all the donations and stuff like that from Stevie and the family. A letter was sent out about a building being built in the process in 2005, and they plan to have it open by 2006 here. That was just kind of a cool little insert piece. It only just mentions them, here, but this is kind of neat. A little odd thing to have. I love odd things. So, of course, going to the Concord Pavilion was, for me, again, like I said, it's kind of my, stepping ground. This show, I just remember being really good. And we ended up getting pit front row. So that was really nice. Looks like I did not cover something here. So hold on one second. We got right up front. And it looks like initially so what I had done by the tickets that are on the back, I don't know why I have all these extra tickets, but it looks like it had started off with lawn just to get there, probably because of all the other shows, and then went there and waited for the day to try and find something else. And it might have been my friend who found the tickets at the last minute, because a lot of times, at this time, it was kind of, they didn't really just have this down. So people would still be selling online. When I went to Reno in later years, not in 2005, I hadn't gotten to the venue in time. I hadn't gotten to Reno in time. So I actually called Ticketmaster and was actually able to score a ticket like on the phone. And that was like I don't remember, but I'd gone from Oregon to Reno. That was really weird. I mean, it had been a long time since you'd been able to go online, but she might've been able to do it. She probably staying with me, so maybe she got it at the last minute, so who knows. But we'll start with this one here. Again, I tried to just pull my best from the show, and here's a lot of Beauty and the Beast, and then this looks like kind of during the bow. You saw my other one where she's kind of doing that hand motion again. That's pretty funny. Even though that's not the greatest, I love when you can see the girls in the background. It's not as blurry as it's showing here. It's not as bright. It's not great, but still pretty cool shot. I'm also somebody, if I haven't mentioned this before, I don't use flash. I know that, there's swankier cameras now, and especially cell phones too, where you could get great pictures without flash. But, this is back in the day. Again, I had a little Nikon something, not instant camera, but, a nicer, like medium grade, blue color, but not, super, super nice. So I would try my best, like when the lights would come up and do stuff like that. So of course, that's also why a lot of stuff is. And if I was far away or something like that, if she's like turned her back to where I was sitting, then maybe I would try the flash. But it's really not very often. Obviously, as a courtesy to the artist, other people around you and stuff like that. I hate people. It doesn't so much happen anymore with cell phones, but people who used to just let it flash, flash, flash. I mean, it's a dark venue. It's pretty easy to point out. But that is also a reason for a lot of these shows. Now, when you see the shows later with the cell phone with no flash, it's just unbelievable how many pictures come out, how good the pictures come out. It really is just crazy. But again, that would kind of, explain some of these. Also, again, I need to find a new place to develop my pictures. I can't even say develop anymore because they're all, digital, but you know what I mean. So you can see how close we were with Waddy right in front of us. But I would say we're on the side of the girls, obviously. Ever since I've been attending Stevie shows, when I first got my first front row ticket for Fleetwood Mac, of course, your desire is to be dead center, and I was on Lindsay's side, I think, and it was freaking magic. I mean, and now, obviously, if there had been a Fleetwood Mac show, I always want to be on Lindsay's side. But when I go to a show nowadays, or anytime Stevie show, I prefer to be on the girls' side. However, the last couple shows I've been on Waddy's side, and that's been pretty awesome too. But I just like, again, the interaction. I like trying to get some pictures of the girls. I like getting pictures of Waddy too, but Waddy will move around. The Stevie and the girls stay pretty stationary where they're at. So this was my trip. That was Concord, and it was just cool to have, again, a little, there wasn't an after write up, but there was just something about her coming to town, an article that was kind of cool. So that is, again, gosh, so short. Next one will be a little bit longer, back to my usual kind of timing. But so that was Concord, and thank you for returning, and come back tomorrow, and we'll be going into the Reno show, which, like I said, it has a story. It's funny. You'll like it. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.